All right, from the studios in Fairfax City, we are very grateful that Øystein Skar accepted the invitation to our show. Øystein, welcome to my Humble podcast.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here.
No problem, man. Let's go back to the beginning to your life. Were you born like in a musical family? How old were you when you perhaps began taking your kids, your parent pushing you, hey, take some piano lesson or guitar lesson, that sort of thing?
No, no musical family, and my parents did not push me in any way regarding nothing actually. But I got this. I actually have the keyboard here somewhere, just this super small keyboard,
Yeah.
Casio. When I was around 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Which I just spent hours with each day. And then I got a bigger keyboard when I was 6. And then I started classical piano when I was 7. So, but I don't know why. I of course I liked it, but nobody pushed me. No, I didn't listen to classical music. My parents did not listen to classical music. So it's kind of a ish mystery how everything started actually.
I
But
got you.
it's always been a pleasure and joy playing and rehearsing. So I never felt not anybody forcing me to do anything of it actually.
That's good for you, man. Good for you. And then my understanding is that you started your local musical school at the age of 12, right?
Yeah, I think a little bit earlier actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very interested.
Yeah. And we before we began recording, I think in your country, right, when you go into kind of high school when you're 14 years old, they kind of separate you into either the technical area, you want to be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, versus the artistic side of you, right? The painter, the musician, the writers, and they split up and you concentrate in that area, right? That's correct.
Yeah. And of course I chose the piano.
Yeah, of course,
or music, and music in general, but also piano as a main instrument. And I can also choose classical or jazz actually. So I choose at that time I was starting to get a little bit uninspired by playing classical music. I don't remember quite why. I just felt it was a little bit limited, maybe, for me. So I was very into more rhythmical funk, soul, jazz, blues. So I actually chose jazz piano at that stage, and kind of left the classical scene a little bit. But still, I played a lot of classical piano, but I was getting more and more into jazz and improvisation, which I found super exciting and like just this enormous landscape to explore. So I think that's the one of the things my main motivations or motivation for like doing music is kind of exploring something somewhere. So, and of course you can do that with classical music as well, but for me at least it was not. I prefer at least at that time to focus more on jazz and improvised music, exploring myself maybe as a composer.
Absolutely, that's the best way to learn and grow, I suppose, right? Try different things and then do what is more appealing to you. Although you began as a classical composer, but you have done a lot of stuff, man. Events, pop, rock, ballet, a bunch of stuff. So good for you.
Yeah, and also synthesizers, and more into Ableton Live, sequencing, sampling. But that was on a later stage in life.
Yeah.
Like at that point, I was really classical nerd, and then became a jazz nerd.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit when I'm starting something, I go very deep and become very focused and a little bit. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
And I go deep, deep,
yeah,
deep.
yeah. That's good. Good for you. Feel free to elaborate on the inspiration and the motivation that ECM pianist Misha Alperin, provided you
Push.
in your life, because he's an important person. I researched him, and of course, he's a very well-known musician from the ECM record label. So,
Yeah, he was a huge inspiration. He's unfortunately passed away now, but I was lucky to study with as his student for 4 years at the State Academy here in Oslo, and I also toured with him, playing double shows. And his it's almost hard to describe or to know where to start because he was a special person. I don't think he was maybe the best teacher for everyone because he was very strict. Um, a little bit special, but a fantastic pianist, of course. And he also was always talking about the heart,
cool.
Listen to your heart. Who are you? What do you do? What do you want to play? Why do you want to play it? Listen to your heart. Why this? Why that? Why that? So I was only 18 years old when I started with him as a teacher. So for me, it was a huge shock. And also it was a big learning curve because when you're 18 years old, it's a little bit difficult to know what your heart wants, you know? And you're still in this research. Who am I? What is life? You're still navigating all aspects of life.
Mm.
And there comes this guy with very colorful clothes, playing like a god, and just pointing at you like, poof, 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 why, all the time. But very always with love. It was not painful or evil or mean, but it was always talking about the core. You know, and that is something which still influences me every day. What is this about? What is art about? What is music about? What is the piano about? What is me and the piano? What is me and synthesizers? What is all this? You know? And what is it all about? So that's something that I'm viewing the world, in general in that way after meeting Misha. Because it was so
Wow.
many years with that kind of thinking. So at some point it just becomes a part of you, which is quite hard. It's easier to just be happy-go-lucky. It's hard to be so serious about everything, and it's tiring, and you have to take tough decisions, maybe about band projects or other projects you're involved in. You have to sacrifice a bunch of stuff, and it's not always that you get clear answers from yourself either. It's not like just asking a question, then you get like it's about this. You have to think and feel and think and feel and think of it, and yeah. So it's a difficult process, I think. At
Yeah, I
least
got you. For everybody, for you too, and for me too
it
as
is.
well.
But sometimes it would be nice to just play, you know,
And
play
no
some.
question. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
just play and enjoy and whatever.
I wanna ask you a difficult question. What do you think the role of music in in human beings or in our society?
Cool.
Assuming that everything was free, right? That people say, well, I'm just a student, I don't have $100 to pay a concert, but let's say everything was free, okay? Like, we live in a crazy society where everything's free. What's the role of music in our society as human beings, I suppose?
Push. Huge question, man. Um, for me, at least, it's kind of a language or format or platform to express something um, something different, something that we all need to express and feel, but it's hard to put words on it. Um, yeah, that's it's for me. It's yeah, it's a different language which we need, you know, which art, basically art, not only music but art. I think it's something about expressing ourselves and we're connecting with others on this frequency, radio frequency, which is good for me at least. It's not connected. It's connected to the mind, but in a different way, and it's connected to feelings. You know, it's something different, which is all around us. For me, at least, it's um, and for me, it's a cliche, of course, but it's a kind of a language which gives me something other than words.
If you have not chosen music, what would you have done?
I,
Any,
I'm not sure.
wow, yeah, that's important. Yeah, gotcha.
I never thought on anything else. Like it's just not. Um, yeah, it's just. I'm not sure.
Gotcha, gotcha. So after completing your studies, you began spend year touring and recording with various projects. Remember, I don't know, one of the first gigs that you ever got paid that you felt, man, I can make a living of this. You know, I got whatever, $100 or whatever, or $50, whatever happens to be. But do you remember the first time you got paid or who you were?
No, I don't think so actually,
Yeah,
because I've been playing since I was so young.
yeah,
I remember when I started playing concert, I was too young, of course, to drive, so my mom drove me around, and I used to got paid in gifts,
yeah.
of like a book or some
Oh, I see.
candy, or like flowers or a cup, a mug. It's all kind of weird stuff that you, because I was maybe 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah,
You know, so what you give, I know this was in the early 90s, so it's like, yeah. But make a living? No, but I never been so interested in the money aspect of it. Thank God, because music is it's a hard it's a hard way of living. Or the arts, it's difficult, you know. So I don't recommend doing this if you're into the money.
yeah. It's very difficult. I find it very difficult to make a living as a musician, right? The people see in the news the Genesis, the Rolling Stone, and Coldplay, and all this band, but that's only 0.0001% of the
Yeah, of
musicians. A
course.
lot of people struggle, right? So
It's a struggle, and I've been lucky, but there's a lot of it's difficult these days because of streaming, especially,
mm,
uh, which is not a sustainable thing. But also, it's war. You know, it's COVID, the pandemic. It's been a lot of stuff for many years now, and then also now it's AI coming, pushing people off playlists on Spotify. it's a lot of, at least I think, negative stuff going on, which impacts the whole industry
Yeah,
and everyone. It's
yeah,
difficult times for everyone.
yeah. Spotify is a ripoff. It's you need to have like a million hits to get a check of $10 or something to get a cup of coffee or something, and the owners. Hopefully, one day all the musicians are there. Easy for me to say, but we'll get together and pull the music out of Spotify, and they will run out of business because that's the model. And with the AI, right?
Yeah.
That's a question. Yeah, it's here. Will stay here, and you see in the playlist, band X that was not real, right? No, the people are not Johnny, Peter, and Mary. They're on access, and they're on the top of the list. And
And
yeah,
also, for me, I think it's also a problem that we're creating systems or structures which kind of degrading the value on art or music, because I think also with AI it's a huge problem. I think that we're everybody is so happy that everything is easier, faster, you can be more effective, you can just type in blah 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 and it's boom, it's there. But I think we're missing a huge part of the process, which I think will not be very positive for humans on the longer term, because it's if you're just writing some prompts to get the music, are you then a musician or are you just a programmer, you know, writing some codes? And what did you miss out on, of the process? And is the process the goal, or is the music the goal? Because that's also important, I think, to reflect a little bit on in these times with AI. Is is it is life all about efficiency and getting more productive each day? Boom, 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 boom. This hamster wheel, make more money, ba ba ba. It's is that what life's about all the time?
yeah, absolutely not, right?
Uh, where when is enough enough? And I'm positive for digital tools. Of course, I'm using AI. I'm using digital. I have synthesizers, Ableton, sampling, blah blah blah. So it's not like I'm no to everything. I'm just saying we also need to remember all the parts of the story. Of the process. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
And,
makes us humans.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I don't
Because
know
I feel like kind of like we're degrading humans now at this point.
absolutely,
Like the machine is God. And why?
people they don't want to, the young kids, right, in school, they don't want to write or read books anymore, right? They do a prompt and write,
Yeah,
a poem or a paper for school, and they don't feel bad about it. They don't look at the mirror and say, "Man, I didn't do this stuff." Or music, you write the music with artificial intelligence, and I know I didn't write this stuff. I use prompt, and it's very strange. People don't feel guilty about that kind of stuff. So
but I think it also, the brain is flexible. So if you do certain things again and again and again, it's kind of that's your reality. And of course, then you're not maybe feeling so guilty about it because you don't know about what it could be in, or like, but and also a problem every time we talk about it, it's a little bit like, oh, shut up, old man. But I think it's something very important here, you know.
I completely, yeah, yeah. I'm a computer scientist that's my day job. So I know exactly what you're saying, and it's like anything in society, right? So there are good parts, right? There are stuff that AI could be able to do, and
Of course,
uh, but there's stuff that as human being it shouldn't be allowed. Eventually, there's going to be a clash because there are not a lot of rules and regulation for artificial intelligence, right? And eventually there will be robots and making decisions, and what if the robots take over our life and then we all die and robots will be walking down the street or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I think now, at least I'm wondering, will the AI, will the humans rule AI or the AI rule humans? It's kind of a little bit, but
Yeah.
now it's different values. But there's a lot of money being spent on the AI, and it would be nice that some of the money also could be spent on humans. It's a lot of crisis going on around the globe. So there's a lot of stuff we can also spend money on that would benefit.
Absolutely. We are killing each other in different part of the world, and we are spending billions of dollars, $1 trillion in AI and creating robots. And we are human beings are kind of crazy. Maybe we're doomed. Eventually,
But also when you talked about what is music, the role of music and arts, I think this goes into that kind of also this kind of topic, because that's a different thing. It's a completely different thing, and it's a different path, and it's representing something different, which is, at least for me, a little bit hard to describe. What is art? What is music? Because it's so personal, maybe also. But it's for sure it's something. For me, it's at least a little bit more human, and it's yeah.
Yeah. No, I got you. You have played with so many people and in so many venues, many jazz festival in Oslo and outside, right? Your country. Any particular venue that you look back and say, "Man, I play like a god tonight," or that was everything clicked, the lights were there, the band was on time, the tunes were played properly, and we were happy.
Yeah, we played. Yeah, there's a lot. I would say the first time we played Glastonbury Festival was really special, and also we here in Oslo we have Oslo Spektrum, which is kind of Norway's most iconic and biggest venue, which we also sold out, which was a really special evening where everything clicked. But I will also say, like, the first time I played in Russia with Misha
Wow.
in northern Russia. That was also a very special, a really special occasion and memory to have now, and like an experience. But it's been a lot, especially also toured a lot in Asia, which is very different from at least Europe, US. So, and the fans are also different, which makes the experience very different again. So, I had a lot of good memories from touring Asia, and yeah.
Is the audience, let's say, if you were to play a concert, let's say in Asia and in United States and in Oslo, in your own country, the audience is different. They react different. The same
Yeah,
concert, the same 10
yeah,
pieces, the same
completely.
band,
Yeah,
right?
I would say that Norwegian and or the audience in Norway and the US is kind of the similar, kind of
Yeah.
similar. But yeah, Asia is something different. They're very, at least on the shows we played, they're very silent, super silent. Like, like it's almost playing classical music when it's not classic. That was pop concerts.
Yeah.
So and they were showing up really early and staying all night just around us when we were out having some drinks and dinner after. They were just staying around, like not saying anything.
Really?
But
Not saying anything.
they came with a lot of gifts on all the shows. There were a bunch of handmade gifts. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And also the applause was really they're yeah very it's special.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, I think also maybe the in the US the people are maybe more a little bit more verbal during the concerts.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the Norwegians are a little bit more distant,
Reserve, right? So
a little bit more.
yeah. So like here in US, let's say you were playing with Highasakite, right? You were doing, right? So if people want to take a picture with you and a selfie, and then, hey, can you sign? You will bring merchandise and you will sign a
Yeah,
CD or a vinyl or whatever, a T-shirt. And
yeah,
I do that because I want to get to know the musician,
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. And people also are staying in the merch area, like talking to you for a long time.
yeah,
In Norway, it's a little bit more. Thank you for the show. Bye. Even if they're really fans, but people are a little bit like more reserved, as you said.
yeah, and yeah, that's the way it is. Um, Man, you have played. I was looking at the list of the people you have played, and like Kim and Thomas and Richard, and of course Misha.
Yeah, I played with.
Dennis, a lot of great musicians. So I need to go back into kind of go to Google and research some of the people that you have played with them. I checked a couple of them, and I went to Bandcamp, and the music is very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Good for
Uh,
you, man. Good for you.
yeah, yeah, but it's so fun. That's why I do this.
Yeah,
It's so inspiring, and I have a lot of good colleagues and fellow musicians and fellow
cool.
friends, and
Yeah,
been fortunate enough to travel and do this for almost 30 years now.
good for you, man. Yeah.
So yeah,
Looking back in your life, if anybody that you wish you could have played or you wish you can do a piece with,
Misha.
oh wow,
Yeah,
my God, man, that guy really make an impact in you. Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that he's passed away. And it's also I was touring a lot at that time, so I wasn't able to say like proper goodbye to him, which was
yeah,
also what kind of sad. But that's life. But no, for sure, Misha.
no question about it. Yeah. Okay, you have composed or been commissioned to write pieces for choir, percussion, dancer, and of course, in addition to work for smaller ensembles. And I believe that now I don't know if you still work associated with the Barat Du Institute of Music in Oslo.
No, I don't. I'm only
No,
freelance.
okay, no anymore, right? Uh, have you written anything, or somebody asked you, commissioned you to write any film music at all? Or is something that you're interested?
Not film, but commercials and
Commercial? Yeah,
TV series. But I've wrote a lot for, like you said, dance companies and theater. I really like composing for theater
yeah,
because it's kind of a movie-ish.
yeah,
Uh, but I also really like writing stuff for dancers.
yeah,
I think that's my favorite. Um Yeah, I connect very well with dancers. I'm really into not dancing, but like dance as an art form. And it's very, especially contemporary dancers who improvise also, you know? Um, yeah.
And are you playing live, or they hire you to record the music, and they play the music in the background where they do all the choreography and that sort of thing?
I've been doing both and also combinations.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very, it's depending a lot on the commission or format or venue production, etc. But
How you? Yeah,
I, I like I think I like the best to compose everything in advance if it's big projects.
Yeah.
Because that then you can really like pinpoint details
Cool.
on a different level than playing everything live. But it's different things. Yeah, I don't want to say that anything is better or worse, but if I had to choose, then I would go for completely produced and composed in advance.
How do you prepare yourself? Let's say a new theater company in Oslo, they are doing, they're going to be doing, I don't know, 10 shows in the fall, right? So in October, November, let's say. And they like your music, say, okay, let's commission Øystein to do the work here. How many weeks in advance or how many times you need to see the show, what they want to do, if they are doing rehearsal before you start formulating your head? Hey, I can play this type of music, this tempo, the highs and lows within the 2 hour show. Whatever. How you go about that kind of what's the process for you to develop music?
It always starts with a meeting with the director or like the people with the idea or so that's a meeting. Like, what is this? What's the format? Blah blah blah. But I really like to start composing right away, not to think too much. And I'm just composing and composing and composing a lot of music, and then I will have a new meeting and listen to this, because for me that's fun. First of all, it's super fun, and that's important. But also, I find it a little bit easier to talk about things when there's some material to check out, listen to reflect on, discuss. Then it's easier to understand at least non-musicians, you know. Because if I talk with other musicians, then it could be easier to talk about things, not this, not that, but this, not that. But if I'm talking with a dancer who maybe not have they're operating on a different level, I think it's easier to listen and then talk about some music I made and then start carving out the direction. So that's usually the way. If I'm working with commercials, it could be a really narrow task. Do this. Here's some stuff we like that you made. Do a little bit more of that, a little less of that. It's 1 minute long. It should be bam on 30 seconds. Then it's a little more, straightforward process. But with dancers or theater, I just like to compose a lot, like many hours with music, sketches,
Yeah.
then discuss and move forward.
Okay, let's say in a commercial or the theater, in my hypothetical example, you end up writing 2 hours, right? And then they only using 45 minutes, or let's say. Okay, what do you do with the rest? You keep it like in your computer that eventually you will come back and say, "Man, I remember that piece that the theater they didn't use it, but I like it. I will, bring it back for your hard drive or computer, and then do something and then release it."
Correct. That's the way. And I also been composing music for a project and it wasn't used, but maybe another project used it 2 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody else liked it, or I think it could fit here, not there. Yeah. So I always have a huge amount of music on my computer at any given moment.
What is
So
the computer crashed tonight?
I have
You have backups?
I have hard drives. But
Yeah, well,
I have 3 hard drives and backup on the cloud, so all good.
okay. Yeah, all right. That's good, man. I don't want you to lose it.
I
And
know.
then
At least for me, that's the most fun approach to because I just compose all the time. So I try not to think too much too early. I try not to think too much anyway. But yeah.
Do you plan on, sorry, do you plan on releasing that stuff? I mean, if I were to go in Bandcamp in a month from now, I would say this 1990, 1991, 1992. You plan on releasing stuff, or is something that you don't?
I'm not sure.
I gotta convince you so I can listen to
Of
stuff.
course, it's a shame to make. But don't you think every musician has a lot of sketches and stuff that didn't happen?
Oh,
Or
yeah, of course. But for
but,
me, since I'm not a musician, right? Okay, this is what I will do, right? From my point of view, right? I will, and if you're a painter, a writer, right, or musician, whatever, sculpture, I will revisit the stuff, right? This was used, that was not used. I like that. I will take that piece, being in my computer, what else stuff, put another half an hour and release it, or and in Bandcamp, let's say, and make a little bit of money. And then since you own the music, I will approach other theater company or other company you have worked with in the past for doing a commercial for plants or a car or whatever, and then try to recycle the stuff. The music belongs to you, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
and a lot of people are doing that.
yeah.
But
But maybe for you as a musician, maybe you don't want to release everything because it's
no,
your baby. It's your
yeah,
baby.
but I have friends who says like, "Oh, why didn't you release that album? You made a completely like a whole album, and you're not really. Why are you not releasing it?" And for me, it's a little bit. I'm always in this process, so if it's not a part of the flow, I don't know why. It can be different reasons.
Yeah.
Then you have to kill some darlings, and just at least for me, I just accept that like that's part of the process. That's a lot of hours of work and probably money as well. Recording it, mixing, mastering. But if it's not like if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right, you know.
Understand. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a pile of music which I could probably release bunch of albums at this time or this moment, but like it has to be it's part of something,
Yeah.
which is difficult to explain, but it's in here.
Well, hopefully the whole world, will listen to your stuff because you're a very good musician, and at least for the stuff that you have listened to. Feel free to elaborate on your period with Highasakite, how you end up meeting them, what memories do you have, what year you were with the band, what do you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah, we were friends from way back. I met the drummer at my local school. And the other keyboard player and the vocalist was also friends, and the drummer and the guitarist was friends. So we were all kind of friends, like meeting up and made music together, which was I played in that band for 8 years.
A year, yeah, yeah.
We had over 300 touring days a year, so we were basically one big family. And then I played in that band. I played electronic stuff, synthesizers. But I think, and that was fantastic years, of course. Uh, but also during those years, I was kind of missing the piano a lot. Uh, and also, I think I said a little bit earlier, I was wondering who am I now at this stage of life with that kind of experience? Who am I with the piano? Because that was starting to get a little bit unclear for me. So when the pandemic came, I was stuck with the piano, and I just and that started very difficult, but also very rewarding process about yeah, finding or making new songs on the piano compositions. It was kind of going back to my youth, also kind of going back to the Misha days, the classical piano days, but also kind of merging everything. Yeah, and also experiencing myself in a new way, which led to the album Hem, which was released this year. Um, and also a new album that's coming in October because I became a dad recently. So the next album is the Hem album, which is means home in my local dialect. Hem. It's all about like again identity. Who am I? Um, so it's a lot more, of course, but like that's the basics identity, you know. And
Yeah.
this new album, which coming in October, also solo piano and electronics. That's more about identity when becoming a dad, you know, because it changes dramatically. And
Of course.
in what ways does it change, and how does that affect you? And yeah, so I'm very into identity, and
I got
again,
it.
it's back to the Misha stuff, you know, what's your heart, all that, what's mattering, what matters, and especially when becoming a dad, your what matters is
It's a little creature that looks like you and start looking at your eyes. And
yeah, yeah, and
of course,
it's chaos, you know. In all in yeah, so that's the thing I'm thinking the most on these days, like these kind of subjects. And also the new album, Stories for A, it's called. um it's also weird because I'm looking on my daughter and I'm not just thinking, because the album is composed to her, and I'm also wondering, like, will she like this kind of music? Will she like piano? Will she understand my relationship to this instrument that I've been playing for my whole life? Is this instrument? You know, will she be into music, piano? Will she play the songs? They're very naive, the compositions. So maybe she will be able to play it at some day. Will I be still around to listen to that? Like, not to be depressed, but like, there's a bunch of like those kind of questions. And it's also about there's a lot of not hidden messages, but like it's a lot of dad wisdom ish in that album.
yeah,
Chasing your dreams, chasing or to live, to be creative, you know, to express yourself, believe in yourself, etc., etc. It's a lot of those kind of topics built into this the new next album. So it's
yeah,
kind of a different thing than Hem, which is all about me.
yeah. Good. Yeah, I listened to the album him. I think at least 40 times. I
Oh
need to
shit.
buy now. I need to buy. I listen to in Bandcamp and in Spotify. You know, now I need to get a copy. I need to buy a copy for you. You can sign it for me. It's a very good album, and it really, as I say before, I don't play any instrument. I don't know how to read music. I don't understand the difference between F minor or A minor. It doesn't make a difference. I put my headphone. I really like the stuff, right? And it, of course, the first tracks, it make a big impact on me. I probably you did it on purpose because this is my opening statement, right? If you are a lawyer arguing a case in court, you need to start strong. So, man, who is this guy? And of course, I listened to that, and then it toward the middle, you go as it's like a wave, like a yeah. It's if you're if from the ocean, right, and the wave go back and forth, right, and then you go down a little bit, and then you have a couple like track number could have been 5 or 6. You play some electronic music in between. Of course, it's piano, but you put electronic, and then you bring the people in the mood like down and more electronic, and then like track number 7 or 8, as you're kind of finishing the album, you it's strong again, like the first track. Like yeah, if I were to compare, I don't know, track one for sure, track one, and then like track 7, I think you come back to the whole thing. You were down, and then again, like it's very very good. And I have Lisa, I say before, like many times, a very good album. And,
Thank you. For me, it's a journey, you know.
you know,
Mm, yeah, and it's also a very visual album. I always write music. I see pictures or feel I see something visually like when I'm composing. So a lot of people says it's a very visual album. You get
absolutely, yeah.
your mind. But I'm glad to hear that you experience it like a
The
journey.
wave, right? Like the show, like
Because
wave.
it is it's meant that way, you know. And yeah, that's why I like albums compared to singles. You know, in the pop industry, it's all about singles. Um, yeah, yeah. For me, album is more interesting because then you can create those tensions, those yeah waves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How were you able to get a hold of the record label in Montreal? They find you, you find them. How does it work?
I think I just sent them the album, and I liked it. Easy as that. I've been following them for quite some years. I was very familiar with them.
I see, I see.
Or, yeah, so I just sent them the album and just said like, "Hello, my name is blah blah blah. I wrote this. Listen if you want," and they liked it.
Then they released that. I
Yeah,
think the album must. I mind that the album was very, very well received in your country
very,
as well,
very.
right?
Yeah. It's been yeah, uh, a little bit surprising for me because I was not expecting that because it was never about that anyway. You know, so I was happy when the album was released. I was like, oh, phew, nice. I've said what I had to say.
Sure.
So if nobody listens, it's of course a little bit, um, yeah. But it felt it would be I would do it anyway. You know, so it's just a huge bonus that so many people are liking it, and
Yeah.
because I think music is for of course
It resonate with a lot of people, right? So
course, and it's an important aspect of it. It's not only for me, but this work was very personal, super personal album. So it was all about me and my relationship to myself and
yeah,
this. You know, it's like I feel like I've been married to someone for 30 years.
yeah. It's something that the album is something that you have in the back of your head for many years before that was released, or
I think so.
yeah.
I think so. But
I
not
mean, the ideas you have in your head, turning around, and you say one day, no, now I need to take the idea and sit in front of a Steinway piano and then put
I
it
felt it
together.
was, I felt it was more like an itchy feeling. Like I was touring a lot with Highasakite, and it was always a little bit like I have to. There's something there. It's some feelings, some which is kind of poking you. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to yourself. Maybe it was Misha. Listen to your heart. You know. So it was kind of a mental process, which again, when the pandemic hit, it was space and time and room to just, okay, now I can listen. What is it? And then this album came.
And then the upcoming album, I think you plan on releasing in the fall of this year, Story for A. Your daughter is very different in the sense that obviously the first one was about you. Now it's about, a human being that is is at home and came out of there to here.
Yeah.
And your world, of course. I'm a dad as well, so your world changed forever, right? So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and the album is coming in October, I think. And my daughter is turning 2 that
Yeah.
year. So
Good.
then I have to. It's a birthday gift.
Okay, that's great, man. And it's going to be under the same record label, you think?
Yeah.
Or yeah, the company.
If you liked him, I think you will like it. It's a little bit more naivistic in the
Yeah.
minimalistic, more, but very. It's kind of the same. I'm still in the same mindset, same mood, same
Yeah.
topics ish, same process. So I think it's a good chance that you will like it.
Do you plan on writing anything, do something more in electronic music? Or do you like the first album, piano, and then pieces of electronic music? Or is there a possibility you doing the other way around, doing some electronic music 80% and 20% piano bass in the background or some pieces? Or
Yeah, and I may have. Yeah, it will be an album.
all right, yeah.
There will be another album.
For that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm finishing up another album also with that.
Yeah, all right. So I read your mind. When is that coming in 2026 or
Let's see.
yeah?
Stay tuned.
Huh? Stay tuned. Yeah,
Stay tuned. Yeah. So, but I'm
yeah,
also very interested in Norwegian folk music because I'm from the countryside.
yeah.
So I also grew up with Norwegian folk music, which I'm also really keen to try to integrate in some ways. So I'm also working on that with some harding fiddle players, actually. I don't know if you're familiar with the harding fiddle. I think
No, no.
it's a different kind of fiddle which is used in Norwegian folk music. Check it out. It's a fiddle like violin-ish, but it's
Yeah,
different. If you Google uh, hardingfele, it's called in Norwegian. It's a fiddle.
yeah.
Then you will probably find it on the internet.
I need to check it out.
Check it out.
Uh,
Check it out. I think at least for me, it's again all about identity. I grew up in this valley where it was very a huge part of it's the local culture scene, and also it's the national folk music of Norway.
I will need to check it out. Also, you play obviously with Dutch pianist Job Bepping, if I pronounce correctly,
Yeah.
in collaboration with Live Nation.
Yeah, I
You have
supported him in 2024, I think, or 23. The years fly by, So yeah, great pianist, of course.
yeah.
Really glad that I was able to do that. Now it's yeah, I've been fortunate to play with a lot of and in bands with and in different collaborations with a lot of people.
It's good for you, man. Feel free to elaborate where people can get a hold of you and buy your music and so forth. I will be putting a link anyway for your
Yeah, and
kind
also
of
like
Bandcamp account.
I have a homepage and also like social media, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music. Also check out Moderna Records. They're
Modern record. Yeah, I will put the link as well.
great artists. and also the album Him, my album, and but just in general a lot of great bands and artists on that label.
Yeah,
So check out.
I need to check it out, and I will be putting the link.
Yeah.
I'm in touch with the owner of the record label, and I will do several interviews from the record label. He's very good music. Øystein, it was very nice talking to you. You are a great person, great personality.
Likewise.
Your music resonate with me, and hopefully I will go to your country next year. Well, for sure, I'm going to Norway next year. I'm 100% sure that we'll go,
Yeah.
and I will happy to take you out to dinner or get together for beer, and plus, well, hopefully we'll see you playing live one day, and hey, we will go and visit our Highasakite friend when they're touring somewhere.
I really recommend going to the northern Norway and also West Norway, not only do East Norway around the
Yeah.
capital. Go into the wild, you know.
No, okay, you say north and east, right?
West. North
West,
and
okay.
west.
I got it. Yeah, I will need to check it out. Yeah, it was very nice talking to you, and hopefully we'll stay in touch, and then hopefully we can have dinner or beer or both one day.
Likewise, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. Take it easy, man. Thank you.
Yep. Bye bye.